NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. They'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Out of the gun, Watson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Amari Cooper with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive.
And just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said, better team at home should steamroll them. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
Parkey with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Now a carry for Bernard. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
Giovanni Bernard.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Counting down toward the midway point in
quotation for an offense coordinator.
And his first carry, he loses the football.
Duke Johnson, the ball carrier.
So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team...
Now Brown, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns.
Newton's pass.
But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, but the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
Out of the gun, Newton. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
Touchdown, Houston.
Duke Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game.
The kick is
and
good.
It's up and good. They have the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Now here's Johnson. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
That's good.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19.
25-yard line.
They run. Chubb uses the stiff arm, and he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Well, this run defense gets an F so far. They're letting this guy carve them to shreds in the first quarter of play. He's already hit the 100-yard mark.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Browns have taken the lead.
Lining up for the extra.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the podcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
And now out comes Houston. And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the #1 goal? Make the playoffs. #2, win your division. #3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the #1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
A 6-yard pickup.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
7 yards there and a first down.
7.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 42-yard line.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Newton, he gets it left side to Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And this is picked up by the Browns. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Play action. It's Newton. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Not much there, only a yard. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam coming out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
from the gun. Here's Newton. Finding Fells complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Darren Fells, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Now this will make it into the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Watson. He'll buy some time right. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and now it's 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
Now Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. The shotgun snap for Newton. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Myles Garrett, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Throwing on 2nd and long. Newton rolling to his left. He's going to take off with it. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing on 3rd down. Newton. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. If you want a lesson on how to defeat an offensive tackle, that was pretty textbook.
Is that a clip and save? That's what's going to go around the league, and people are going to watch that and say, my goodness, that's how you do it? And I feel awful for the offensive tackle because we always talk about the athleticism of that guy who just beat him. Well, you have to be athletic to try and block that guy. Just in this case, the defense won.
And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10.
That's good.
The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. The quick slant caught.
Watson's pass.
Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two.